War der hier, ne? Glaube ich. Nee, das sind automatische Saves. Siehst du, so kommt man schon wieder durcheinander. Das ist doch scheiße. Danke, Spiel. So viele Möglichkeiten. Ja, man kommt doch voll durcheinander. Das wollte das Spiel jetzt gar nicht mehr. Oha. Sage mal. Bring sie um, du. Hab ich doch schon. Doch. Ach, scheiße. Ich hätte das irgendwo anders speichern sollen, ne? Welches war denn jetzt unser Hauptstrang? Wenn es überhaupt einen gibt. Ja gut, dann nehme ich einfach den. Komm.
There's a world beyond the end. Do you know?
Muss man sich Notizen machen, das ist schon übel. Aber wir fangen dann halt immer wieder an von 1.
You make your way a warning. She will not. The intel blade.
Hello.
Don't. Good. You're still listening to reason. You walk down the stairs. I am begging.
Okay.
Thank you. You turn.
Where are you going? You can't just leave me here. You'd better hope for your own sake that I don't slip these chains before you make it back down here.
Slip these chains. She needed our help to get out of here. But do you hear the conviction in her voice? She has to be bluffing, but I'd hurry if I were you. You rush up to the first floor, grabbing the blade, both yours and the world's only possible salvation. Okay, if we're sure about this decision, I'll support it. I suppose we have a world to save after all. You slowly creep down the basement stairs. Where the princess sat only a moment ago, there's only a severed arm.
Ach du Scheiße, sie hat ihren Arm schon abgebissen. Oh nee. Oh nein, sie ist bestimmt an der Decke oder hinter uns. Oh mein Gott.
Is it just me? Or did this room get a lot bigger?
Ach du Kacke. Das ist richtig übel.
Oh, you coward.
No, I don't think we can. Why don't you come closer? I have something to show you.
This is a dangerous play. Who's to say she'll actually succumb to her wounds? She doesn't have a weapon, and she's missing an arm. You can finish this right here, right now. Your eyes dart to the corners of the room. You don't see her. Where is she? You close the door behind you. Almost magically, its locks immediately click into place. Maybe they'll open if you finish the job.
Oh, do you want to play a waiting game?
Mhm.
I've been down here a long, long time. I'm very good at waiting.
You do your best to patiently wait her out, but eventually, exhaustion
Das
starts.
ist gerade ein Psychospiel.
Come on, wake up. We can't fall asleep down here. You wait for as long as you can, pushing yourself to stay awake and stay vigilant. but you can't outwait someone who's been waiting for as long as she remembers. You barely even realize that you've started to drift off. Pain tears you from your sleep. The princess is upon you, ripping into your flesh, unnaturally sharp teeth and claws severing arteries and digging into organs. There's nothing to be done.
Alter.
Half gone. It can't just end like this. As much as I prefer for things to have gone differently, I can't deny the reality of what's happened. Everything goes dark. And you...
Cool, bin gestorben. Das war ja toll.
You're here.
Boah, was ist denn das für eine Psycho-Scheiße? Weißt du, erstmal muss irgendwas Schlimmes passieren, dass wir weiterkommen. Hä? The fuck?
I can assure you that you're not dead. If he doesn't remember what happened,
Voice of the Haunted.
something else must have
Okay, die
trapped us
Stimme ist
here.
neu.
You're not trapped here. Nobody's forcing you to do anything, though the only sensible thing for you to do right now is march up to that cabin and slay the princess. Those are two very different questions. Let's say for a moment that this really is the second time you've met me, or at least a version of me. You died,
Ja, das
and
kennen wir
what do you
schon.
mean? Of course, if it's do you think the people, all the more reason to keep our wits about us, should we even return to the cabin? We could find a safe little hole somewhere instead. You have to go to the cabin. If you don't slay the princess, she's going to end the world. She will look as a cat. I don't see what she could have gotten out of there whenever she wanted to. We should trust nothing that she tells us, only what we hear and smell. That's a very roundabout way of saying that you should listen to me and take this seriously. Maybe.
Ohne Geld sicherlich schwer durchzuspielen, wahrscheinlich, ja.
The interior, the blade is your implement. Very different. I wonder why. Maybe that's because you haven't actually been here. I hope this means you'll finally drop that ridiculous... So focus up. You take the door to the basement. The air, she growls up the stairs.
I can smell you.
Oh mein Gott, das wird immer schlimmer. Boah, das wird ja immer schlimmer.
She sounds almost feral, impatient, or maybe eager. You carefully make your way down the stairs. The last step gives way to
Oh
the
mein
damp earth
fucking...
floor of a starlit pit. The walls are obscured by impenetrable darkness, giving the illusion that the room might stretch on forever.
Alter.
You brush against the wide leaves of plants that surround you on all sides, seemingly the only living things that occupy this strange underground wilderness. The jungle is pressing in on us, hiding her from view. She could be anywhere. You see only a flash of the princess before she scurries away into the underbrush,
Wait a
dragging her
minute.
heavy chain behind her. Remember, she's just a princess.
Naja.
She's certainly not just a princess. You're not helping. It doesn't matter what she is. It only matters what she does. Her shining eyes appear between the leaves, staring hungrily at you from the
Oh,
darkness.
das ist mies.
I can hear your heart pounding from the bottom of the stairs, fledgling. You're right to be terrified. I'm so much more than you. And a little splinter clutched in trembling hands won't save you from me.
A shiver rushes up your spine and pulls you upright.
Ich glaube, bei ihr habe ich absolut gar keine Chance, sie zu
Air's
überzeugen.
shifting. She's getting ready to pounce. Move now. direction on instinct. As you land, you're buffeted by a gust of air, disturbed by the sudden motion of a massive body. The princess. In an instant, she's pounced on the spot where you
What the
can feel
fuck?
her chains rattling across the floor behind her.
What? Das ist die Prinzessin.
Before you can blink, she's gone, vanishing once more into the shadows. But you still...
You're faster than you were before, but you're still meek, reactive, prey.
You whirl around to find her, and your gaze meets hers, a pair of shining eyes
Boah.
peering out at you from just beyond the basement stairs.
Dankeschön, Didi, wünsche ich dir auch. Ja, gerade ist ein bisschen creepy hier.
So she's cut off our escape. Shit. What do we do?
We don't have to kill each other. What if I help you?
I want to swallow you whole, and I will get what I want. You have no exit. You have no hope. You live and die by my whims, and my whims alone.
Don't ask her what she wants, just slay her.
Ja, ist ja
Is that the
easy.
advice you have? We don't even know what she looks like. Some specifics would be very helpful. She's just a princess. Don't overthink it. She is clearly not.
You cannot reason your way out of this, fledgling. There's no compromise with what I am.
At least she's upfront about her intentions. She's coiling for another strike. Be somewhere else. We're on the back foot. The back foot keeps us nimble, keeps us alive. It doesn't matter if it keeps us alive if it eventually kills us. We need to take back the momentum. We need to do something.
Survival. Play dead. Ernsthaft? Okay. Also ich würde gerne das dann gleich mal austesten. Geh mal zur 2, sonst bin ich schon wieder durcheinander.
We have the blade. I assume all she has are nails and teeth.
Martin,
Let's
erzähl das
use our
Slade leider nicht.
advantage. The steel claw is small and she is large. It's dangerous to fight back. It should only be a last resort.
Dann tue ich so, als ob ich tot bin.
We're playing dead.
Ja.
It's unexpected. It could work. As the princess lunges from the shadows once more, you collapse to the ground, feigning death. She lands directly on
Opossum.
top of you with her full weight,
Faking
nearly
her
crushing
own
you into
death.
the dirt, but then... silence. It actually worked, didn't it? Only, what do we do to make her leave? Do we just keep playing dead? She sniffs at you, shifting her weight uncomfortably as her face finds yours. Her breaths are hot and oppressive against your skin.
Mm-hmm.
Have you seen my great big eyes? Because they see you, fledgling. They see your heartbeat pulsing in your throat.
Move, now! But it's too late for you to move. Her jaw unhinges, and she swallows you whole. I guess that's it then. Unfortunately for you, no. This isn't it. You are in a dark and caustic place.
Was? Ich bin in ihr. Oh.
Fibrous lining constricts around you, its slick surface impossible to grip. Your hands scrabbling uselessly at your surroundings as they compress in on you. Your lungs can barely expand in such a tiny space. Not that the humid, finite air
Also das nimmt ja
grants you more
Ausmaße
than a
an,
few
ich weiß ja
shallow
auch
breaths
nicht.
at a time. The liquid pooling beneath you starts to seep into your skin.
Oh.
You itch, then sting, then burn as the acid begins its slow work.
When I killed you, I tried to leave this place, but it wouldn't let me. You belong down there, it screamed at me. The world is better off without you in it.
The flesh around you rumbles as the princess begins to move, her thundering footfalls twisting you helplessly about. Your skin protests as the...
But you don't belong down here. You came from somewhere else. You came from out there. So I consumed your dead heart, and I carried it in my throat, and I draped what was left of you on my back, and I threw myself against that door.
She stops, her muscles tensing around you, and through the muffling layers of her flesh, you hear the whine of straining metal. And with a pop, she lurches forward, your body lurching right along with her. Her chains. She's loose.
But even then, it denied me freedom. You cannot fool me by draping yourself in decay. I know your true nature, and it is suffering.
Gravity pulls at you as you're hefted upwards, the distant creaking of ancient wooden steps barely audible over the thudding of the princess's heart.
And then it was gone, and I was here. A new enclosure, a nicer cage, but still a prison. I learned from my wounds. You're alive now. We can leave together.
Does that work? Could she free herself if we're alive in here? Do you really need me to give you a definitive answer for you to understand that the situation is grim? Stop. You still have that steel claw. Tear through her before we are her. Survive. Or we could use it to make this quick for ourselves. If she needs us in order to leave, we could at least deny her that. That is a bad thing to do.
Oh, ist das scheiße. Was für Entscheidungen muss ich hier bitte treffen? Oh Gott. Das ist so mies.
Oh, can I?
Ja, du kannst.
The click of what you presume to be a door ripples through the layers of suffocating flesh.
Du bist frei.
That wasn't so hard.
Naja, wir sind ja... Naja,
You
egal.
feel her take another massive step, and then another, and then... And then... It's gone quiet, hasn't it?
I guess I don't need you to be a part of me. How lucky for you. This place is cold.
Okay.
Is that a mirror? I think you know what I am.
Okay, das ist neu. Das ist neu. Nacht, Brownie. Och, du Scheiße.
The narrator, yes. I suppose that's my job, isn't it? You needed help after all, an objective voice to guide your blade. But you were never supposed to see me. I wonder how many worlds you've damned to extinction to fall this far.
Mhm.
I haven't, and that's by both necessity and design. This construct you're in exists in many places at once. Any time you failed, any time you thought yourself dead, it would restart and shunt both your consciousness and hers into another world. But you'll be awake soon, and then it won't be able to work like that anymore.
Okay, ich kann nicht so viel fragen, ne?
We've already crossed the point of no return. There's no saving me now. Not that there's ever been much of me to save. Any other version of me you talked to was just that, a version of me. It wasn't me. As to why they lied, perhaps they thought that admitting to it would have pushed you to certain realizations that would have made finishing your task impossible. I'm sure many of them were convinced that they had to be the first version of them you'd encountered. Anything else would have been too existentially unpleasant. For all I know, each of those other versions of me could have had entirely different understandings of how this construct works. Who's to say which of them are right and which of them are wrong, really? Except for me. I can tell you for a fact that I'm right. It doesn't hurt. I don't feel pain. Not physically. Of course not. The only way this construct could function was if nobody knew what it was doing. But the bones of the universe are old. It's on the cusp of its dying breath, and the people out there are consumed with thoughts of oblivion. When the patterns are wiped from the sand, when the board is reset, who will remember them?
Ich verstehe mal weniger, ne?
I'm aware, and if I were you, I'd be more precious about your time.
It's a long quiet. Okay. Das ist sehr abstrakt gerade. What the fuck?
I can finally see you, and you can finally see me. It's been so long, and my heart has ached for this moment. I've missed you dearly.
Okay.
Names are their attempts to capture that which cannot be captured. They call me the shifting mound, a pale imitation of what I actually am. Ever the passive player, always reacting and never acting. But it's woven into your nature, isn't it? When the echo spun us from one into two, he gave you a choice and me a role to play. I am not death, but I contain it in my multitudes. So, will you attempt to destroy me and bring about a world devoid of death and the possibility of meaning? Or will you open the final doors to our liberation?
Oh, ja, also wunderbar. Oh mein Gott. Slay the Princess. Boah, ist das ein böses Spiel.
Even as your eyes begin to open, you still hold on to the notions of is and is not, of beginning and end, pitch black islands in the blinding light of the infinite. There is nothing to resolve, nothing restraining us but us.
Die Wissenschaft. Ich habe extra gespeichert. Ich will es schon ausprobieren.
Of course I have a say in all of this. You and I share reflections of each other's burdens. But I am not death. I contain it in my multitudes. So, will you open the final doors to our liberation? Or will you open the doors to our liberation?
Hm.
Of course I have a say in all of this. You and I share reflections of each other's burdens. But I am not death. I contain it in my multitudes. So, will you open the final doors to our liberation? just as you and I share reflections of each other's gifts. If we didn't, the winding paths that brought us here wouldn't have been full of strife and conflict.
Also es gibt 2 Möglichkeiten, sie zu slayen. Ach du Scheiße.
If you're saying that, it's because you don't yet understand. But we cannot use words alone to grasp at things that words cannot express. And you cannot rationalize with logic that which defies it. Violence and passion are dances that both of us know well. If this is what it takes to enlighten you, then so be it. You are devoured. Pray for something
Was passiert hier?
that stalks and slinks in shadows. Within, you are tightly bound.
What?
Choke on heavy air as acid burns its way into your pores. A nest of things devouring within things devouring. But even when dissolved,
Oh mein Gott, ey.
a life. Perhaps it was fear that drove you. Perhaps it was compassion. But the outcome of an act matters more than its intentions.
So Psycho.
There is a natural order to the cycle of things sustaining things.
Boah, die Musik dabei.
A world without sustenance is a world without relationships. And it is our relationships that give us form and substance. But violence has defined the thread of everything between us. Do not deny what we are, and do not color our conflict with fear. A thought is a vine, and some thoughts nurture thorns that bleed the soul, and endless growth that blots your vision and strangles your trust.
Oh mein Gott.
When I succumbed to myself, you left me to rot, and in your abandonment, the two of us were bound in our suffering together.
Das ist die Geschichte, die wir eben gespielt haben. Oh, fuck.
A painful eternity, but one that is only unceasing if you remove what happens next.
Man kann ja alles jetzt so falsch machen.
Nothing brings me greater joy than to hear those words. The final peace lies with you.
Okay. Ich hab Fragen. Ich auch. You fall into yourself.
I love you.
Hey, wir lieben dich auch. Nehme deine Hand. You are free and she is with you.
It's magnificent. Everything, just like it always has been. and just like it always will be.
There are no endings. Okay. Ich bin mega verwirrt, ey. Habe ich das Spiel jetzt geschafft? Our song. The good ending. Doesn't count. The good ending. Okay. Was? Was? Hey, was soll das? Okay. Survival!
Gottes Willen! The princess surges past you with a speed that makes her practically Yes, and then what? Don't plan ahead. As you turn to sprint for she is too much. Guess that's it. Unfortunately for you, no. As you're the liquid.
Okay, jetzt sind wir wieder hier drin.
Is that what? All that.
Flach mehr als ich sollte.
Waste of a good life. It's better than giving in to her. But in the end, the opinions of stray voices mean little in the grand scheme of things. Everything goes dark.
Chapter 3 is a wild. Bitte was? Oh.
We are a path in the woods. We have no beginning, and we have no end. But something cold and unnatural sits watching us from just.
Ja, ist die Frage, wie viele Enden gibt es in dem Spiel? Das würde ich jetzt schon gern wissen. Also richtige Enden. Alter. Gibt's halt nur so viel zu entdecken, ne?
Curling them in on themselves, preventing them from stretching to the places they need to reach.
Bitte was? Ja, Enden, nicht Enten.
No, that's all wrong. You're not a path in the woods, you're on a path in the woods. Who's even saying that? That's not the princess, is it?
Ja, sag mal, Stefan. Das würde mich jetzt interessieren. Weil es gibt ja auch so viele Errungenschaften. Das heißt, du kriegst halt ganz viele Chapter 1, 2, 3. Ich weiß nicht mal, ob es Chapter 4 gibt. Es wird ja noch so viele verschiedene Wege geben. Also ein böses Ende wird es auf jeden Fall auch noch geben, aber...
I think this is our third? That's bad. That's very, very bad. It wasn't even supposed to reach 2. If you're at 3, well, no wonder things aren't the way they're supposed to be. Let's get our facts straight. What happened last time? What could you have possibly done for things to be like this?
The thing that sits beyond our edge speaks his logic into us. He tries to grasp at things that cannot be grasped. He tries to stare with wide pupils
Doch nicht so weit.
which can only be held from the corner of the eye or with a pat.
Shut up. The rest of you talk. What happened?
Das ist sie einfach die
What
dritte
did you
Stimme.
do? We're part of her because she consumed us.
Die vierte sogar.
Can she hear us?
Das war einfach zu gut gerade.
I can hear everything, little one, but you don't have to be afraid of me. There's no place where you end and I begin. Nothing can hurt you here. Not anymore.
It shouldn't count as her eating us if we offered
Voice of
ourselves.
the... Oh Gott, ich habe ja alle Stimmen
We're
jetzt.
still here, though. And if we're safe, isn't that better? I guess this is fine. Doesn't feel half bad. Miles better than being dissolved, anyway. She ate you. And now you're convinced that you're stuck together.
Geil.
He doesn't understand. We aren't convinced of anything, and we aren't stuck together. We're one. This is how we're supposed to be. Can't you feel it?
Ich fühle alles, klar.
I'm not watching you, I'm trying to help you. That's not an answer to our question.
I don't know what he is. I only know that he is something other, and that he wishes for you and I to tear ourselves apart.
I do want that, but only because it's in your best interests. It's in everyone's best interests. You won't be able to slay her unless you remove yourself from her.
He wants us to kill each other.
I don't. I want you to kill her. Don't be charmed by her faux solidarity. You're not in this together. She's the only one who poses a threat to the world, and she's trying to make you go along with it. You don't have to enable her, especially when you have what it takes to stop her.
Ich hatte das gute Ende, the good ending.
We can't go back to that. We can't go back to the fear and the hunger and the pain. Not after being something as beautiful as this.
Doesn't all that conflict feel so far away right now? So petty? We've been posed against each other by something that understands the strength of our unity.
I can feel a thumping, a heartbeat, like a distant
Ja, das ist mein
tone that
Heartbeat
keeps
gerade.
getting louder the more we pay attention.
Please, stop. If you let it in, we'll fall apart.
Don't look at it!
Hold yourself together. We're no strangers to effort. We can push this back down. Something might do us in eventually, but I'll be damned if that something is a thought.
Was war nochmal Gaze? Nimmst du vor, zu das System anstarren?
No, you can't bury that feeling. You can't hide from your past.
The past doesn't have to exist. Our freedom is within
Angry
us.
Princess is
We
angry.
just have to find it.
A glimpse
You
of
fall
something
inward,
bigger.
into a network of connections too vast for your mind to occupy. Are you a path in the woods? Are you a body? Can you even grasp the fuzziest edges of the shapes that confine you?
Ja, ich wollte wissen, wie viele richtige Enden es gibt, ja.
We can change to fill them together.
We don't need to be everywhere. We just need to test the boundaries.
Dieses Sterben dazwischendurch, das sind ja so Zwischenschritte. Das ist schon,
You
boah.
do best to remember that some wounds will never heal.
Also verstehendes Ende sind es
Never
11?
be mended. Even in rebirth, some things never come back the same.
Ich werde dann auch nicht mehr the same sein.
What is he going on about? What does he know about us?
He can't make us quit, no matter how much he tries.
Okay.
He knows that talking's all he can do.
Also ich weiß, dass ich nicht alle Enden erreichen werde. Ja, aber ich glaube 4 Hauptenden. Dann gibt es noch die Zwischenenden.
You aren't whole. You'll never be
Ja, die gehen ja
whole
schnell,
again.
aber
This struggle is meaningless.
das eine führt ja zum anderen.
Whatever
Oh.
you think you're doing, you will fall apart.
We don't need to be made whole. All we need to do is find a single corner of his cage and break it.
You stretch and search and stretch and search, growing as you decay and decaying as you grow. As you strain beyond your limits, the ground around you becomes dry and unstable and crumbles into nothing beneath you. This place will fall apart before you find its end.
Ach, es geht schon auf die 0 Uhr zu, ne? Holy fuck. Muss man bald ins
This
Bett.
task, whatever it is you think you're doing, is impossible.